Taxpayers need to understand that they will get involved in a tax dispute from time to time. What is important is to be calm about it, to take advice to the extent needed, and to act upon it. Tax disputes need to be resolved through engaging in the right process, engaging with the right people, and to have things corrected as they should be. So tax disputes is something I think that could give a lot of people grey hair, and people are very concerned of getting involved in a dispute with NAMRA potentially. People are concerned and afraid of the fact that they're up against the state, the government effectively. I don't think it's really anything that people need to be concerned of. It is simply a disagreement, after all, about how much one needs to pay. Now, of course, the subject, the taxpayer, doesn't want to pay, I guess, often anything. You need to pay something, I guess. And NAMRA wants us to pay as much as possible. So there is always going to be this tension. I think people need to understand and accept that that's a healthy tension, and that's something that's always going to exist in a free government and a free society that we live and operate in. And very often it's not only going to be about who's correct. It's about money and who can get the most amount of the biggest chunk of money. I think businesses who think that they get it right, get it correct, I think sometimes lose sight of the fact that there is this, as I said, healthy tension for government to try and gather and in as much revenue as possible, with taxpayers wanting to pay as little as possible. So it is so, obviously, that while we operate in an environment where taxpayers need to be treated fairly, that the government is always going to be, and the representative of government in this instance, NAMRA, is always going to try and look out for itself. And we need to accept that. And I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with it. But equally, on the other side, if taxpayers are convinced that they did not, in fact, get it wrong, then you need to challenge that position. They are concerned that they are an accused in a criminal trial. So very often I have clients reach out to us and to deal with a tax dispute. And they're afraid that they're going to be stopped at a roadblock, for example, and arrested. They're going to be picked up at the airport by police potentially. And none of this, of course, is true. The fact of the matter is that you are simply involved in a monetary dispute about who owes what and who needs to pay what to whom. So that's the first thing, is I think fear of criminal reprisals. I think the second is that they get wrong is that it is something that can be solved through the so-called ostrich approach. Very often people think, this problem will just go away by itself. Very often by not taking action immediately, the problem is actually aggravated. It's much better to do something about it quickly, either via, professional firm like ourselves, or, yourself reaching out to NAMRA and see whether the matter can be resolved before it escalates into something much bigger. I think the key principles are to firstly understand what your rights are. I think the second is to understand what the process involves. I think the third is to be sure that whether you, in fact, are correct. Very often I see, and just starting with the last perhaps, taxpayers blundering into a dispute process with no basis whatsoever for the tax position that they've adopted, meaning that the amount that they're said to be owing is in fact something that is owing. In terms of understanding the process and understanding your rights, I think it's important for taxpayers to realize that there is a point where phoning up people and pleading and emailing only goes that far. That goes to the third point, the process. Is that there is, for very good reason, a prescribed process in how to make a tax dispute go away. There's a formal process with prescribed day periods that need to be adhered to. And that's if you don't understand what that process is, even taxpayers, sadly, with the best facts in the world, get kicked out because they've not adhered to the prescribed process, which is very sad indeed, but something that we see very often. It's just because taxpayers are procedurally, in the wrong. The process is as important as the technicalities, because, it can be that you're entirely right for adopting the tax position that you've had. Let's say, I receive a dividend, for example. That dividend isn't subject to tax. Now, I got that part right. NAMRA perhaps, doesn't know about the underlying facts, and they issue an assessment and say, Albertus, you need to pay tax on it. Now, I'm technically in the right. I should explain it to them. But because I ignore it, because I phone up and try and arrange meetings and, perhaps just ignore the problem otherwise, the problem doesn't go away. That's why as I said, even with the best facts, with, the really being a so-called slam dunk case in your favor, you're ultimately going to lose that dispute because procedurally you've not followed what you're supposed to follow. You've not adhered to the process the steps that you need to take to ensure that this problem goes away. So emotionally, it's very important to calm down. It is, as I said, not as though you're the accused in a criminal trial. And very often, people freak out about these things. And it is only that. It is a dispute, as I said, about money. It's one of the parts that I like about my job personally, Vanessa, is the fact that, there aren't any children involved or, criminal activity or, anything of that sort. It's not messy. We're talking about money, which of course has a very real effect. But it is ultimately a clean dispute about money. So emotionally, what you need to do is to understand what it is about and what it's not about. The second part is that you need to understand that when getting involved in a tax dispute, it is so that while government is, of course, mandated to go about tax collection fairly, there is also an incentive, of course, to drive tax collections in an aggressive manner. So I mention that and I say that because it is often not likely that you'll succeed in your dispute at the first hurdle or even the second or third hurdle. It's very often something that you need to understand that you need to persevere in, and that it might be some journey that you're going to embark upon to have this problem in your life go away, if it is ultimately something that you intend to dispute and take as far as it needs to be to make it go away. Obviously, there are unique rules that are prescribed in the Income Tax Act. Now, Namibia doesn't have a specialist court dealing with tax disputes. So any tax-related issues at this stage go to the High Court in what we call a so-called administrative review, to have a court consider whether NAMRA has acted fairly and correctly in a certain manner. There is now, quite interestingly, some indications in some of the proposals that we've seen come from government here, that there is a specialist court that's going to be set up again in Namibia, which is quite encouraging, and which can only go some way to advance taxpayer rights. And, a specialist court, of course, is much better equipped to deal with these specialist sort of issues. In South Africa, there is a separate piece of legislation that deals with Tax Administration Act. It's called the Tax Administration Act. We don't have such a piece of legislation in Namibia at the moment. I wouldn't be surprised if it's in the offing and that we can expect such a piece of legislation quite soon. But our experience in South Africa, at least, is that this has gone some way to ensure that taxpayers' rights are protected, and also that there's clarity between taxpayers and, in our case, SARS, the South African Revenue Service, on who is obliged to do what and who enjoys what rights. Similarly, in Namibia, these rights and safeguards also exist. But if we can have specialist legislation to deal with these issues, I think that would help quite significantly. And as I said, it's quite encouraging to see that Namibia is definitely moving in that direction with, for example, now creating a specialist tax court. Look, why won't you request assistance from a professional in a tax dispute? Because often it's expensive. So that's when you won't. If it is that the amount in question, what you're being assessed, is significant, if it at all justifies seeking an advisor, I would strongly advise someone to do so. Now, you might cynically say, Vanessa, Albertus, of course you'd say that. But that's not why I say so. The reason why I say so is that this is unfortunately a specialist field. And I think it is also a field where a lot of people simply say, look, I just don't feel up to it to challenge government in how much I owe them. So I'd rather just, almost continue to feel bullied, don't really care for it, I'll just pay and make it go away. If the approach is rather to say that, look, I don't want to be difficult about this, but I have certain rights, and I want to ensure that the law is applied to me correctly as it should in any, country where the rule of law exists, as is the case, of course, in Namibia. And then taxpayers are entitled, of course, to challenge the position, to say, look, actually, government, you're wrong. I don't owe you these monies. And in that case, considering not only the specialist nature of the dispute, but also the specialist nature of the process, might be useful to involve a professional, and at that sooner rather than later, just because it might be that you might be procedurally hamstrung quite early on in the process, and therefore that the dispute is effectively dead. To be sure that the matter that you're dealing with is something that that is defendable, I think it is important to manage your client's expectations in whether this thing is going to be resolved quickly or not. I think it is important also to tell clients what to expect of the process going forward. Very often we have this in South Africa, and the same is the case in Namibia. There is the principle, for example, that many people don't know of, is that where there is an assessment against you, whether you agree with it or not, you need to pay the amount up front and then argue about it later. Now, there is the ability to request NAMRA to suspend the obligation to pay the amount in dispute for the moment. But people don't know that. Firstly, that you are obliged to pay the amount up front, and secondly, that there is a potential way out of that. So it is to manage that expectation from the client, to inform them of what is likely to happen and what they can do to correct it. Very often clients phone me up and say, NAMRA's taken an amount from my bank account. They're allowed to do that, provided that they've sent you a letter up front warning you 10 days in advance that you are going to get such a letter, and provided that, of course, the amount in question hasn't been suspended under such an application to them pending the resolution of the dispute. Taxpayers do two things on both on opposite sides of the spectrum. The one is you get extremely aggressive taxpayers to tell the stupid people at NAMRA what they should be doing. Now, that's offensive, and that's not going to help you at all. And look, we're also dealing with people who are just discharging their duties and doing their work. So the correct way to go about things is to engage with people in a courteous and professional and friendly manner. The other side of the spectrum, as I said earlier, would be people just ignoring these requests and ignoring these assessments, like a traffic fine, for example. Many people say, look, I don't pay these things, I just ignored it. People tend to do the same with a tax assessment. That's wrong. NAMRA is extremely efficient. The problem is that the problem is only exacerbated. It's only going to get bigger the longer you sit around and do nothing about it. Yeah, I personally think a good outcome is if the party that has the correct tax position wins the matter in the end. Look, what we want is ultimately certainty, and what we want is accuracy and correctness. So a good tax dispute ends where the law is applied correctly to the facts at hand. And that's regardless of whether it is that the taxpayer wins the dispute or NAMRA wins the dispute. Good resolution is if we arrive at the correct outcome. What is not a good resolution, to me often, is that either a dispute, is just left by the wayside. NAMRA just concedes it because there are bigger fish to fry often. Alternatively, again, on the other side of the spectrum, cases where the taxpayer is simply too concerned that it is painting a target on its back by disputing an assessment and just letting it lie and paying the amount without taking it further, when in fact they're not obliged to pay anything at all. I think it is to understand that you will eventually get into a dispute. It's my experience that every taxpayer will at some stage in their tax-paying life, if I can call it that quite dramatically, will find themselves in some sort of a dispute with the revenue authorities. And again, it's by no fault of anyone. That's the nature of society that we live and operate in. And I think if you understand that it's nothing dramatic and it's not anything that you're being accused of, then I think it becomes easier to deal with. If you understand that, look, this happens from time to time, and I need to ensure that, when this happens, I take the correct process and that I have this issue dealt with correctly.